My gentle yoga stream. It looks like we actually have some light today. A ton of light. We haven't had very much sunlight in the morning as of late, and today's not seeming to be any different. But let's take a moment, create our space, get some water, check in with the air quality real quick before we start stretching. There might be some hope to go outside today. See, air quality index good. All right, let's confirm that next appointment. All right, let's get stretching. Taking a moment, find a comfortable seated position. Let's assess our body, see where we're tight, see where we could have slept better. So I like to sit in my modified half lotus position, but for the sake of our movement, I'll make an adjustment. So let's start by just working through 10 deep breaths. Get comfortable, sit up tall, work on breathing in through the nose. And as we warm up the nasopharynx, let's just slowly breathe out from the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale from the mouth. Trying to work on breath retention where we inhale, fill up briefly, holding the breath. Inhale. All right. Working into some seated windmills. We'll get, ooh, so tight. 3 going left. 3 going right. All right, stretch our fingers out. Open up our airways, reaching up. Relaxing the arms down. Taking left hand, right knee. Inhaling, right arm to the sky. Exhale, plant right hand. Turn. This would be a great place for a block, so you'd be up here instead of over and down. Slowly working back through center, taking right hand, left knee, inhale, and left arm up. Exhale. Turn. Back through center. Inhale up. Exhale. Hands through. Keep breathing. Ourselves back up. The shoulders back. Taking the hands down. Working into a modification of staff pose. Lifting up for a few breaths. Relaxing the chin. Working ourselves forward. Taking right arm out to the side. Inhale, stretching left arm up and overhead. Working a nice lateral bend. Keep breathing. Keeping both hip bones grounded. So you want to feel both of your, sits bones in the posterior on the floor. No lifting of one particular side. Keep it balanced. Slowly come back through center, stretching left arm out. Keeping right arm up and overhead. Slowly coming back through center. So let's work on interlacing the fingers behind the back of the hip. Shaking out the spine like a pendulum. All right. Give ourselves a nice hug. Directions of the arm, it does make a difference. That side's tighter. Taking it out. All right. Working my free weights out of the way. Stretch the legs on out. Shake them out. Very good. All right. Now I have all types of weird little ticks and weird little things that I do to get comfortable sitting down. Sometimes I'll just rub the muscles on the shin, kind of increasing circulation to the lower extremity. The more that we lay hands on the legs here, the more we increase the vessels and their flow. So let's extend the heels. Extend the heels so it looks like me pulling my toes back. Fluff my pillows. Trying to get on the boniest parts. I have a comfortable distance between the feet. I'm going to inhale, reach up. I'm going to exhale, tuck the chin, one arm at a time, towards my feet. Ooh, I haven't been this tight in ages. I'm going to reach back, smoothing out the back of the neck. And this is going to be just about the most basic forward fold I've done in years. I'm just going to practice the breath. As I inhale, I get more flexible. I get less flexible. As I exhale, I get more flexible. And then after I breathe out, I'm the most flexible. So I call this riding the wave of the breath. Just like the waves crash and recede, they wind up and follow through. We'll do the same with our posture. Just a few more breaths. All right. Slide my right foot in. Now working into our side body. I'm going to stretch my arms out. Inhale. And I'm going to exhale, left hand towards left foot, right arm either up and over, or I can take peace fingers to big toe and take right arm back and behind. I'm feeling inspired to do the thinker pose that we've done in weeks past today, where I'm just being really passive as possible. My right shoulder is still coming back. I'm still dropping my left ear straight down towards the leg. Now in the thinker, you'll still feel a good stretch. It might even be too extreme. But as you breathe, feel your waist get tight on the right. So tight, exhale. Focus on pulling in your stomach. We're working this expansion and contraction. Keep breathing. One thing I can do with the thinker is I can take my elbow down lower if I get more flexible. This takes strain off of the cervical spine. And if you've ever had a neck injury, and if you know my story, you know that neck injuries led me to yoga. We're always trying to be a little bit more sensitive. So our neck has these tiny little baby bird bones. That's what I like to say. It creates a good little visual in comparison to our gigantic mammoth lumbar bones. The cervical bones, they're very fragile. They're not great for weight bearing. They're good for mobility, but they're not great for weight bearing the way our, titanic lumbar spinal bones are. And so, always trying to think, how can I have the best head, neck, and shoulder postures, kind of mitigate the instability of the cervical bones. Now, one way to do that is by building up our trap muscles, trapezius muscles, by building up the rotators of the neck so that they have strong attachment points. We'll work ourselves up slowly, real slow. Even slower still, lifting straight up. I'm going to turn my left knee towards the floor, onto my forearms into a gentle twist. And I'm working myself back up. Sides. Pulling this left foot in, the instep of the right thigh. And as you can tell, when you start, we're not in this, like our hips are closer together. I'm physically going to take my right hip further forward so that this heel just moves closer to the inseam of the pant leg. All right. Inhaling, arms out. Exhaling into our modified hurdler stretch. Seeing what we have to offer today to the pose. And I'm going to decide to come right back into that thinker variation. Now I can tell right away I didn't sleep in a really great supine position. I feel like I may have rotated a bit. The side's real tight. So I might not have as much flexibility to offer, but I'm going to try. I'm going to keep trying to get a little bit more flexible. And as I breathe, and focusing on the expansion and contraction of the stomach. Another word to use, or words to use, would be inflation and deflation. Inflating the stomach, deflating the stomach. Slowly working myself back up. I'm going to turn Drop my right knee to the floor. Soft and twist it down. Which will bring us to our last logical place to work in our seated position before moving into a recline to the back. Butterfly pose. I'm going to work on pulling my heels in. Now, I'm a very big butterfly in that my wings are further apart. A lot of my students are somewhere here, a little bit more narrow wing structure. That takes time. It takes time to relax into it. So as you work forward, take your time. As you can't quite tell, my back's not perfect. I mean, I can try. I can try and be perfect right here. There's a little curvature, but since our hips are grounded, it's not entirely excessive. I have just a little bit of rounding here. After all, the stomach's in the way. So I'm trying to get comfortable in this butterfly. We'll take another 8 to 10 deep breaths to just ride the wave of the breath. Working ourselves back up. Give ourselves a little squeeze. All right. Working to our back. We'll smooth out the back of the hip. Interlacing the fingers behind the back of the head, squeezing the forearms to the face, taking a deep breath in. Exhale, gently rolling chin towards chest. Slowly lowering the head back down more smoothly. You may have felt some natural readjustment there. Pull the knees in. Rocking gentle circles. First all one direction, maybe 7 or 8 times clockwise. 7 or 8 times counterclockwise. Taking legs up the wall. Alternating circles with the ankles. Taking those circles back the other way. Walking it out. Shaking it out. So tight today. All right, here's a new one. For this one, I'm going to reach out to touch my heels first. We're going to practice bridge. Ooh, snap, crackle, pop, lifting the hips up. So instead of for the muscular work, you lift up and unfurl any tightness in the hip flexors. We're just pushing up and up and up and up and up. And instead of doing this actively, we're just trying to find our end range of motion. Lift the heels, slowly lower. Now that we have the concept of bridge in place, we'll smooth out the back of the head. Lift up left leg while we pull right leg in. So now you're going to feel the stretch across the front of the left thigh and the quadricep while I stretch the undercarriage here on the right. Switching sides. Now this could always be a repetition. If you like this stretch, it could just be short alternations. It's definitely not gentle. It's definitely not easy. It's just kind of a more complex and advanced maneuver, but it's great for mobility. Now let's cross right shin over left thigh. Pushing left knee up against right shin. We can always drop right foot and cradle the baby. I'm actually preferring this morning. I'm getting right hip joint nice and stretched out. Carefully switch sides. Pressing out and up. Relaxing. Smoothing out the back of the shirt. Smoothing out the back of the head. Stretch the right arm out to the side. Bringing the knees in over the belly button. Take left hand, right knee. Inhale, look right. Exhale, let our knees fall to the left. center. Left arm out to the side, right hand, left knee. Inhale, look left. Let your knees fall over to the right. Slowly working back through center. Doing a little hip abduction. Right leg in. Left leg in. Right leg in. Left leg in. Now, this is not extreme. This is very gentle. Or it's attempting to be very gentle. Checking out our happy baby. Happy baby. I take the peace fingers to the big toes. I rock. I roll. Now, the way I teach this in my class is by dropping left foot, right hand over, dropping right heel, stretching left foot over, 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 over. Stretch out right leg, stretch out left leg, take hands to the knees, tuck the chin, press on up, shake it out one more time. All right. Before we go out for the rest of our day, practice 10 more gentle breaths in whatever sitting position you find most appropriate. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out the mouth. Thank you for being here. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to leave me a comment in the comments section. Email me at Barton, BARTON .Firch, FIRCH @teamexos.com, TEAMEXOS.com. Now, if you'd like to join my Fitbit tribe, it's at Bart dot or Bart F. All right. So have a wonderful day. Thank you to those of you who participated now or in the future. All right. Take care.